Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. I missed you guys on Wednesday at celebrating my wife's birthday with this wonderful soul that I get to spend the rest of this lifetime with. And yes, but here we are today. No more past, present. I think this is a really important subject. Today I have with me a group called The Ascended. Hello, Benjamin. Good to see you. I have a group called The Ascended who really want to impress the importance upon us that we must learn to not relive our past in the present, as it results in living the future past. And it's a very fascinating thing that most people are living a past in the present or a future past. This usually occurs because there are events and circumstances in your history that injured you in some way, shape, or form, physically, mentally, or emotionally. And there was no mechanism of knowledge or training to assist you in learning how to release or let go of these old emotions that you carry forward from your past. If you understand that the past in the present will simply repeat the past in the present. The idea of memory about the past is a good thing, to be able to remember the past without the emotional content being reinitialized in the present. Then remembering the past can be a very beneficial thing, as you can avoid a lot of difficulty and challenges that you would not normally have to experience by not having the emotional energy from your past in your present, as your emotional energy is creating all of your experiences. Even in this moment, everything that you are experiencing is a product of your acquired, accumulated emotional energy. And your capacity to understand how to liberate yourself from emotional energy is very important, especially those emotional energies that do not serve you very well. If you hold on to anger from your past, or fear, or sadness, if you hold on to any lower vibrational energies from the past, those emotions will seek to manifest like themselves situations that are similar in nature to the condition of the emotion. In other words, the experiences you have match the emotional qualities that you harbor in your consciousness, both the conscious ones and the unconscious ones. And you'll continue perpetuating experiences that you may not like because of those emotions. If you do not know how to change or alter, restructure, release, transform, or transcend your emotions, then you are bound to repeat them. If you hold them just the way they are, the vast majority will tend to accumulate more of them and often perpetuate greater and greater and often unnecessary challenges and difficulties because you have not learned how to liberate emotions from your consciousness. Emotions, once stored in the body, structure functions of behavior. When an emotion is stored in your body, it will accumulate, it will regenerate, and it will determine the function of behavior. In conventional emotional ranges such as excitation, anger, playfulness, curiosity, rage, depression, in these emotional ranges, behaviors are very specific to the function of physiology. In other words, you have a certain quality of emotion, there is a precise and specific behavior that often accompanies the emotional quality that you retain inside your body. However, with the correct and proper knowledge, you can learn to access these emotions in the body and release them. They're simple, easy to learn processes that you can learn to liberate old emotions from your body so that you do not perpetuate or recreate the same situation again and again. If you are wondering why the relationships keep going the way they go, and if you keep wondering why health conditions keep coming the way they go, if you keep wondering why your money troubles are the same way again and again, and if you keep wondering why certain things are again and again and again, it is not because there's anything fundamentally wrong with you at all. It is simply you do not understand your ability and capacity to learn to liberate or release old emotions out of your body so that those emotions don't work at functional behavior, as every emotion has a function of behavior behind it. When an emotion is triggered, it can be dormant in your subconscious mind. And the moment it is triggered, then the function of behavior that that emotion contains will be expressed. It is why you can be in a very good state of mind and somebody comes along to you and says one little thing to you, and you find yourself reacting in very bizarre and strange ways. And you go, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did that happen? It is simply because the emotion was automatically going into its function of behavior. Any emotion, once triggered, has a function of behavior behind it. Every emotion drives the function of human behavior. Every emotion drives the function of human behavior. The individual who is able to regulate, moderate, transform, transmute, or transcend emotional qualities will no longer be subjective to the functions of behavior that those emotional qualities naturally precipitate. If you observe on your day-to-day basis when you are irritated, when you're excited, when you're happy, when you're not happy, if you can observe on a day-to-day basis, you can begin to get an idea of what the emotion is that you're holding in the system that is easily triggered by the environment. And understand the vast majority of the human population is subjective to the unconscious drives of emotional functions of behavior that are often triggered by external elements. Now, understand also that many of you have been trained and conditioned in this way. You have been deliberately and meticulously trained from childhood to be afraid, to be angry, to be reactionary, at the behest of those in positions of power and authority who can initiate such things. By making a simple little announcement on your news stations, they can cause many thousands and millions of you to behave in very specific and perhaps not such good ways. But if you do not know how to liberate your self-emotions, then you will simply be going along the function of the trigger. The trigger will determine which way the bullet goes. That is, the trigger that is the architect of a particular emotional quality that you have dormant inside yourself will determine the direction in which your behavior will go. And many of you are not even aware that this is happening. That someone can say but a single word, misogynist, and all of a sudden you have an emotion. Or someone can say a single word like Trump, and you have an emotion. Where did that emotion come from? You were not born with that emotion. Where did you acquire it from? Much of what you have inside your mind and in your consciousness was not selected by you deliberately, but much of it was presented and put in your mind very deliberately. The systems of existing education make a structure of your behavior that you will all function in very precise and specific ways, at least the vast majority of you. The few exceptions that can evaluate and examine their own emotions and recognize that they have an authority and autonomy over emotional impetus. Well, those individuals are generally free thinkers that are not easily manipulated or not easily going along with the crowd like so many of you. But if you are unable to evaluate your own emotional qualities, then you are bound to carry out the function of behavior that is behind them. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. But these emotions are from your past. And these emotions often precipitate your past being represented in the present. So you end up living in a past present. And even more of you will find yourselves living in a future past if these emotions remain unresolved and unreleased from your consciousness. So you can live a past present or a future past. And so, in so long as you do not know how to become the architect of how your own mind and body function and work under your own conscious dominion, then you will be amenable to environmental stimuli causing you to function, think, and act in ways that you might later regret. And so coming to this position of awareness is most important. The key to your liberation from old emotional influences is first and foremost your awareness. If you are unable to differentiate yourself from your thoughts and emotions, then you are bound to repeat them. If you cannot examine thoughts, their nature and their source, and the emotions that come forth from them, then you are bound to propagate those thoughts and emotions into living actions. We wanted to keep it very simple today, that you must understand that in so long as you hold on to emotions from your past, you are bound to repeat similar or variations of situations that match that which you experienced before. Until you come to the awareness that you are not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you cannot be the architect of your creative process. Again, a large percentage of the human population are simply following the stimuli provided to them from the environment, which they were conditioned to follow. Much of what you are taught in your educational systems are designed very specifically to have you follow external direction, not internal. The vast majority of your existing systems of communication, what you call your news and your entertainment, all of these things are designed very specifically to keep you reacting and responding to only external stimuli, being reactionary, not creative, not conscious, not intentional, of your own volition. And many of you believe that when you are stimulated by a single word or an announcement on your news, and you find yourself functioning and behaving in a very specific way, will be completely unconscious that the source of the behavior and your actions did not even originate from you, but outside of you. But you will say, I did this and I said that. You will say that, not knowing that you heard an announcement on the news and it made you very angry, so you get out and you protest on the streets. But you do not understand that you are manipulated and you're being governed. And your existing educational system has the model already well established for close to 100 of your years. The model has been established that you will receive a stimuli and respond to it. That something outside of you is that which directs you to think, to say, to do. And many of you are now disconnected from your own capacity to initiate your own thinking, evaluating, and therefore your own emotional qualities and the subsequent actions that those emotional qualities could present for you. Your capacity to generate and stimulate qualities of emotion will determine the manifestations you experience in your life. As long as you feel trapped in the current model that something must happen outside of you in order for you to feel or think a certain way, then you are bound to be a slave to the external world and feel disconnected from your own personal power to articulate, manifest, and create the conditions of your life as an act of your own free and sentient consciousness. You were born to be free and sentient, a divine creator by nature, not a humatron, guided and governed by external triggers and stimulations. You have the capacity to differentiate yourself from the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas of others and formulate your own personal understanding of what is or is not true from yourself based on your observable awareness, your observable reason, your capacity to evaluate and think for yourself, independent of what you've been conditioned to believe or think. Only then will you begin to find true freedom. But the vast majority of you hold on to and harbor emotions in your body from your past and have not learned how to liberate them. You've been taught about trauma and suffering, death and disease. You hear it almost everywhere you go in this world now. And so you live in fear of the outside world, disconnected from the very nature and source of who you are, which is not restricted or limited to any conditions of the world when your will is free. You must learn to not live in the present from your past, or you will simply repeat your past. If you find yourself repeating and experiencing variations of one and the same thing, well, then you are simply in a program. You are simply repeating an emotion and thought system from the past and it simply recreates itself. You can find yourself going through many relationships seeking fulfillment and happiness and not finding it, not because there's anything wrong with you, but simply you're following a set of ideas, beliefs, and their corresponding emotions that precipitate very specific behaviors. And without your capacity to self-analyze and say, where do these thoughts come from? Where are these words coming from? Where are these emotions coming? Without that process of evaluation, you will simply be on the hamster wheel of repeating the same thing again and again and again. And this applies to any area of your life: health, money, relationship, which are the most important areas of your life: health, money, relationship, work, playfulness. These are all important areas of your life that if you keep repeating the past, you will never enjoy the present of what they really can be. So no more repeating the past present. Learn to let go of old emotions. Learn to let go of old thoughts. Liberate your mind, your awareness from the contents of your mind. Liberate your awareness from its subjectivity to emotional conditions. Liberate your awareness from the compulsions of the body, because your body has its own mechanisms of compulsion, compelling you to do or think or say things as well. And until you awaken to this process, you will simply be subjective to it. It will not take you long. It will not take you long to liberate yourself. Once you understand the simple mechanisms you can cultivate and develop, both in thinking and in being, that will allow you to transcend your past, to no longer repeat it again and again, the same stuff, different day. You've heard people say that. You say to them, "How are you?" And they say, "Oh, not too bad." "What's new?" "Oh, not too much. Pretty much the same." Do you find yourself saying that? Find yourself speaking that way? Watch how you observe others and watch how you observe your own behavior. You'll discover that much of what you say and what you do is simply something you've been conditioned to repeat again and again and again. And that's not dynamic. That's simply repetition. And while repetition is beneficial when learning a new skill, it certainly does not loan itself to being liberated from your past. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your emotions. You have a body. You have a mind. You have emotions. And it's important you learn to articulate an authority and a control over them that will allow you to become truly the sentient and free being that you were born and intended to be by the divine creator. Understand, you were intended to be a free thinking, creating individual, not subject to the dictates and rotes of the mechanisms of external control and authority over your consciousness. Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for that super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Hello from Israel. Hi, Merlin from Israel. Blessings to everybody in the Middle East and what's going on there. May peace find its way into the hearts and minds of all humans in this world. And let it be done. Let it happen. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome from Israel. Hi. Rachel's asking advice for me regarding my current healing journey. I've stepped away from Western medicine to heal eye inflammation and want to know what angel is guiding me and am I on the right track with my diet? Hang on, Rachel. Okay. Well, Archangel Raphael has been and is working with you. He says the changes in your diet are necessary. There are other refinements. Yeah. The function of the eyes is important. You understand that you can breathe through your eyes. You can breathe through your eyes, not in the fashion of air going in and out, but in the fashion of energy going in and out. You need to breathe energy in and out of the eyes. You need to clean them. The same way your breath, when you breathe the body, you are drawing in new vital energy into the body, and you are releasing from the body which no longer serves it. So it becomes very important that you learn this process with energy for your eyes. Draw energy, new energy into the eyes, and release the old energy from the eyes, the old things that you no longer wish to see. And there are elements in your unconscious faculties that play into this as well. There are things that you remember that the body does not forget until you teach the body to forget. You must teach the body to forget certain things, like trauma, like seeing things that it did not want to see, experiencing things it did not want to experience. You need to release these emotional energies from the eyes. Draw in new energy, release the old energy from the eyes. That's wonderful. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Raphael. Yes. Oh, you're very welcome, Merlin. Remember, humanity's been programmed. Hello, Benjamin. Glad you made it today. Thank you. Can you please ask about my guardian angel to protect me from my neighbors? Hi there. Yes, here's a really simple thing for you right now. If you're sitting down, sit down. Sit down, be comfortable, take a slow, deep breath, relax your body. Now remember, your body and your awareness are two different components. So there's your body, which you got relaxing right now, but your awareness has the capacity to expand. And what I want you to do is yes, I will. They're telling me to tell you to do this. Expand your awareness so it surrounds your whole house. Okay? Surround your whole house, like your awareness. You think of your awareness as a giant sphere that's completely surrounding your house, above the ground, below the ground, but in a giant sphere. So the house is contained in the space of your awareness. As you feel your awareness surrounding the space of your house, bring this thought into the space within your awareness. That is, fill the space of your awareness with this thought now. Only love enters this space. Only love leaves this space. Think and speak those words slowly so that you feel the energy of each word. Only love enters this space. Only love leaves this space. And do that for about a minute. You'll notice there's going to be a change in the energy of your house and the space, and even in your own awareness. And then once you've done that for about a minute, expand your awareness even further to include your neighborhood. Include the whole neighborhood. So expand your awareness so you're including the whole neighborhood. Once you can feel that your awareness is like a sphere encompassing your whole neighborhood, do the exact same thing. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. Go very deeply into the feeling of the meaning of those words. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And go deeply into that for the whole neighborhood again for about a minute. And do that at least once a day for the next 7 days. And usually within the first 24 to 48 hours, you'll start to notice something changing around you. But make certain you do that diligently, at least a minute. You can do it longer if you want to. That's what they're telling me to tell you to do. Just sit down, create that sphere around your house first. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And then expand your awareness to include the entire neighborhood. And do the same thing again. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. Go deeply into the feeling of the meaning of the words as you think them and speak them. And then again, you can always leave a comment below one of my pinned videos to let me know what your experience was. But I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours for you. You will notice a difference. But it's important you do that at least once a day between now and the next 7 days. Really wonderful. Good morning, Amanda. Glad you made it. Hi there. Changing lenses. I love that. Hi. Good morning, everybody. Um, Message as to why I'm having such back pain. Okay, who's this? Hi, Janine. Okay, Janine. Back pain. Yes, I'm being told to tell her that too. I will tell you that. So there's an exercise that I'm going to tell you to do for your back pain. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to just bring yourself to the pain. Bring your awareness to the pain in your back. Close your eyes, Janine, close your eyes and bring your awareness to the pain in the back. And let yourself feel it. Don't try to change it. Let yourself feel the pain. You'll notice how uncomfortable it is, but allow yourself to be present with the discomfort. Don't try to change it. Don't try to alter it. Just be present with it. As you allow yourself to get more present with the pain, communicate this thought to the pain. No matter how you feel, I'm willing to love you. Think that right into the pain. No matter how you feel, I'm willing to love you. Now, one of two things will happen. Either the pain is going to suddenly start to diminish, or the pain is going to start to increase. No matter what it does, whether it increases or decreases, simply repeat that phrase. No matter how you feel, I'm willing to love you. Even if the pain increases, stay in that thought form. No matter how you feel, I'm willing to love you. And don't try to avoid it. Don't try to get away from it. But truly, there's a part of you that's in pain that needs to be loved and accepted by you. So very important. Stay in the energy of that thought. No matter if the pain gets really intense, stay present with it. Say, no matter how intense you feel, I love you anyway. And stay in the vibration of the meaning of those words. No matter how you feel, I love you anyway. And if the pain diminishes and gets less, then say to that feeling, no matter how you feel, I love you anyway. And repeat that again. Feel the sincerity and the meaning of the words as you communicate it into the consciousness of the pain. Because what you're doing is you're transmitting a vibration of an energy into the pain. And that transmission is a vibration of love because those are the vibrational words you're using. No matter how you feel, I love you anyway. So you're transmitting a function of love, and that function of love will interact with the function of pain and begin a process of transmutation or transformation. Okay? We teach all of this in our master classes. If you really want to learn how to heal pain in your body or let go of all emotions, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Sign up for our Masterclass 102, which begins in about 3.5 weeks. And you'll learn how to let go of these old emotions, how to go in and change these stored emotions that are in your body that cause pains, cause symptoms that might not be beneficial for you. You can learn to do that. It's not a complex process. Hi. Hi, Jasmine. Thank you for that super chat. I think that's a super sticker. Thank you. Um, Also, announcement to my patrons, you'll be receiving the Patreon event information later today for our 7th at 7 p.m. this month. And I'm really excited about it. And again, I want to thank all my patrons for your incredible support over these last 7 years. It's been amazing. And I'm so grateful. And I'm honored and privileged to be able to be of service to you in the way that we're able to on Patreon. Right. Question from Jasmine. During meditation, I saw a golden infinity sign above my head with white light. Surrounding purple light, with white light surrounding purple light. Is there a message? Please, thank you. Yes, I'm being told to tell you you're beginning to connect to what you will know as your soul, as God consciousness. The symbols represent the human terms that represent that divine state. The color violet, of course, as you know, is of the third eye, the eye being opened, right? The eye being opened, right? The infinity sign is above when you reach your divinity. You reach your divinity. But yes, very good. Very good. Waking up, remembering yourself. Hello, Sharon. Hi, William. Thank you for wise wisdom today. Much love. Thank you so much, Sharon. That was really wonderful of you to say that. Thank you very kindly. Um, yes. Hi, good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Hello. Glad you joined. Thank you so much. Can you sense my energy? Yes, I can sense your energy. Hi, Melissa. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are certainly elements. There are elements of your past that you need to let go. There are elements of your past that you need to let go as they drive a lot of the fears that you currently have. Fear is not who you are. Fear is an emotion you've stored from your past experience, but you need to liberate yourself from that. But yeah, there's like these three white orbs that sit behind you. There's these three white orbs that are sitting behind you right now. That, yes, yeah, they're calling themselves your guiding light. There's these three white orbs that are above and behind you, and they're calling themselves your guide. They're your guiding light. Yes. They're telling me to tell you to surrender the function of fear so that you can embrace the function of your purpose. You cannot fulfill your purpose by your attachment to your fear. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you for that consideration. Question from Merlin. Hi, William. I would love a message regarding my purpose here on Earth, connected to birds, plants, Earth, but I don't know what to do next. Thank you very much. Uh, Wonderful. Thank you so much. My name is Moran. Wonderful, Moran. Thank you so kindly. Again, the energy of a being that's in popular mythology called Pan is coming forward right now. You're correct in recognizing the connection to the natural kingdom is really important for your purpose, the fulfillment of your purpose. Um, you also have the energy of Francis of Assisi that works with you, which is why, again, these animals are very close to you, why you feel drawn to them. A simple and easy way to begin to integrate the connection between you and them in a more meaningful way is to go out to a tree. Make certain it's a tree. They're saying the tree should be at least 30 years old. You don't want to go find a tree that's less than 30 years old, but find a tree that's at least 30 years old. They say it's better if it's older. And what you want to do is you want to go out to the tree and you want to put your hands towards the bark. Don't put it on yet, but become familiar with the energy that you're between your hands and the tree, what you feel energetically with the hands and the tree. That's step one. Once you feel the energy between the hands and the tree, gently bring the hands to the tree and then bring your forehead close to the tree. And again, sense the energy between your forehead and the tree, how your energies connect there. When you feel that connection, bring your forehead to the tree and speak and think these words. I'm open and receptive to knowing what I need to know with my purpose. Open and receptive to knowing what I need to know from my purpose. And then there'll be a sequence of symbols and vivid images. And once you get that sequence of symbols and vivid images, Merlin, make certain that you write them down. They'll start to make sense and repeat the process with that tree or other trees. You can also do the same thing. You can close your eyes and sense the energy between you and a bird, or you and a dog, or you and a goat, or sense the connection energetically between you and these creatures so that you start to build the platform of awareness inside your consciousness that will allow you to start to decode the meaning of the vibration that you guys exchange, because it is connected to your purpose here. That much I can tell you. Hi. What other refinements are needed for my diet? Thank you. Um, mm, I don't know why, but pomegranate. I'm getting shown a giant pomegranate. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of Atlas, the mythological being that carries the world upon his shoulders, but I'm being literally shown a giant pomegranate being held up. Like literally, it's massive pomegranate, very big for you, pomegranate. Pomegranate is like big, big, big for you right now, Rachel. Wonderful. Thank you. Hi. Hi there. I didn't even see that, but I saw it. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. What a beautiful time to be on this planet. That's very true. I love um, pomegranates. My mother used to keep us busy for half an hour with one of them. Yeah, pomegranates are beautiful. But for Rachel, that'll be really beneficial for her. Again, it's like Atlas holding a giant pomegranate. How do I surrender the function of fear? This is a great question. The simplest way I can recommend, if you want to completely learn how to let go of and be free of your fear, go to my website and sign up for Masterclass 102 Liberation. And that class, you will be introduced to and experience processes that will actually empower you to feel, transform, and transmute old emotions from and out of the body. Because once you can release an old emotion out of the body, then its function of behavior can no longer influence you. That's the simplest way. And it's a 3-week program. So it's a very intensive learning environment. And yet it's the one that humanity needs the most, is how to release ourselves from all these old trapped emotions. And not just the old trapped ones, but the emotions that we've been conditioned to feel by television, entertainment, radio, violence, aggression, judgment, gossip, all these things that we've been conditioned by so-called entertainment. People have been conditioned into fear, conditioned into anger, conditioned into survival, trapped in survival. That's how the vast majority of people live in this world. They're trapped in surviving. They're not trapped. They're not living their best life. They're trapped in survival. And that's because they've been conditioned to do that, right? But you can let go. You can let go of that conditioning very, very well. No worries, Rachel. It's all good. Oh, you're very welcome, Merlin. Hi. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So yeah, this has been a really wonderful day, everybody. I want to say thank you to the Ascended for being present for us today. And again, my patrons, you'll receive your information for the Patreon event later today. And I'm really looking forward to this one because it's going to be uplifting, to say the very least. To know your soul. To know your soul is to know love. To know yourself as you truly are is to know love. To know yourself as you truly are, not as the label you've been given, not as the personality that's been constructed for you, but to experience and know yourself as you are is to know love. And that's going to be the theme of this month's first Patreon live event, again, which is on the 7th at 7 p.m. So I'll look forward to see you guys there, patrons. And everybody else, thank you so much for coming out. Remember, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for the likes and the shares, the follows. These tell the algorithm this material is valuable and useful, and it is. So make certain you share this with others. And I want to wish you all a much wonderful and a joyful day. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the Monday edition of Shortcuts to Your Soul. TikTok, I'll be seeing you guys tonight around 7 or 8 p.m. this evening. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody. Bye for now.